This is it, people. This is the one. Every week we follow, and this week it's in Istanbul. The final of the Europa League. This is the biggest game, I will say, other than maybe the championship final, playoff final, just because it was so important for us to get up. It is the biggest game in my lifetime as a Villa fan. And I'm not that old. Well, I'm not that young either.
I'm not that old, but I'm not that young.
Gary is obviously going. It is Aston Villa versus Freiburg at 8 o'clock UK GMT time on Wednesday, the 20th of May. This is the preview to that game. If you are new here, guys, please do hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the hypes, all that malarkey. Gary, I'm terrified just doing this podcast. I'm sweating. I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere to watch it. I'm watching it here, and I am sweating. And it's not even the day of the game.
Mate, look, I get it, right? There's lots of excitement and buzz. Everyone thinks we're going to win. But, like, if you're of an age like we are, right, and I know Kevin will probably be in the comments, right, going, just have to keep the faith, boys, right? And I love it. I'm all for the confidence, and I do feel that. But there is an inner soul, like, in my inner soul, right, the PTSD of being a Villa fan, I am so anxious. Like, I feel...
Everyone's saying we're going to win. All the pundits are saying that Talk Sport, they're like, it's a massive upset if Villa don't win this. I'm just like, it'd be so Villa. It'd be so Villa, wouldn't it? Oh, your audio's gone, mate. Sorry. Your audio's randomly gone. Yeah. Here we go. Technical issues on Every Week We Follow. That is the standard practice at Every Week We Follow. No, can't hear him yet. I should have paused it, shouldn't I? I should have paused it. Oh, anyway, I'll ramble while Gary's still doing that. Yes, it's terrifying. And like Gary said, you know, we've been through the mill. We've been through the mill with this team. We had that, they had the final against Man U. We had the Arsenal final where we got absolutely battered. We had the Palace semi-final. We had the Olympiacos semi-final. We had obviously PSG in the quarterfinal. We won the game, but we didn't win the tie. We've had Man U on the last day and bottling it. It's just so many times where we haven't managed to get over the line. Oh my God, it's killer. Gary, this is the longest ramble I'm having to do. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm trying to do this. Just so people are aware, I will be doing a watch along with Rich from the Villa Park podcast tomorrow. We'll be doing a dual stream, so it'll be on both channels at the same time. For anyone that wants to watch our faces react to the game. Obviously, I think
I'm
Gary,
back, baby.
He's back, baby. There we go. Thank God. Jeez, that was way too long. But yeah, we will be doing a watch along. So please join us for that if you want to. If you're watching the game in somewhere where you can join us, just join us. Even if you can't watch it, if you just put it on in the background, it gives us the numbers. Just put it on your phone, put it in your pocket, and let it run, and that'll help support us all. But yes, Gary, sorry, you were going. Keep going.
Mate, look, I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Like, you know.
Well, luckily, it's not the day of, so it's not
the day of. Right, losing the sound. Yeah, I am. Look, we've said this before. Like, we know on paper, right? If we turn up and we play like we did against Forest and we play like we did against Liverpool, I think we beat Freiburg. But they are. I cannot underestimate that. You know, everyone loves an underdog story. They are coming with no expectation, probably freedom to play. That if they turn up and frustrate us, you just never know, right? So what I'm trying to do today, right? I'm trying to turn this anxiety into excitement, because the chemical that is released when you're anxious is the same as when you're excited, right? So, and I spoke to my wife this morning. Right, she rang me from Devon. God bless you, Sarah Bennett, for taking a whole family to Devon while I fuck off to Istanbul. Right, it's madness. And she said, I've got to physically manifest it. So she said, you're feeling anxious, and that's understandable, right?
I love that she's talking you through this, mate, by the way.
Yeah, she is. But she said, so today, try and do physical affirmations where you just go like, and she's going to sound weird, but where you just go, yes, I'm excited.
I love, I love how you were doing that, right? I love how that's what Sarah says to you. And Jess would just say to me, get a life. It's just a game. Shut up. Well, what are you doing? Like, she'd just be like, you've got more important things than football. You're like...
Mate, Sarah knows that this is my life. And
yeah,
it makes me happy. So she spent the best part of 19 years telling me to go fuck myself over football, remember? It's only since we've done this, since we started the podcast. And she's
there you go. You can partly thank me then for saving your relationship.
There you go. When it comes to football, mate, like, if you ask Sarah, she would say, like, rank, football, me and kids, and it would be football, Ava's football, right? The podcast. Then Sarah, then the kids, right? And that's terrible. It is a part of us.
When I said I can't do the Europa League final, I can't watch it, whatever. You were worried, and like I was said, oh well, unfortunately I can't. As Jess got a medical appointment, all this stuff, and you were like, oh, I thought it was something to do with the podcast. I was just like, mate, is there anything else in your life? The podcast kind of come into your head. I was just like, no, like, oh, you're leaving? Are you having to leave the podcast? I was like, no, what? So funny,
mate. This is important, and consistency is important in podcasting, right? You've got to keep going, and that's you got, and so it's important to me. And it has been important to me. I did a little video on TikTok because we got we got that comment the other night when we had Sam on about showing off about going to Istanbul, and I just wanted to I haven't really shared the story properly of why we started the podcast and stuff. And we spoke about this via text yesterday. And I really want to tell the story. I think it's an important story to tell. But it needs some careful consideration and scripting. I don't want to just kind of go off the cuff. So I did a little video just as a brief explanation as to why Istanbul isn't something about showing off. It's about just feeling incredibly grateful for having the opportunity to go, and that video's had a lot of love, and I think we'll do a podcast about it, and then hopefully break it up into some shorter clips for YouTube and TikTok.
Men's mental health's a big thing, and football's always been a big escape for a lot of people, and obviously when COVID and all that kind of thing, it was very dark, it was very difficult for a lot of people, and they didn't have that kind of release or that escape anymore, and
it is mental health, and I'm not just mental health week this week. It is, and I'm not, and it's not just men's mental health; it's women's mental health as well. And whatever you identify as people, that's fine. Like, it's all about everyone's mental health. And for those that watch this on a regular basis, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Right, I'm not afraid to be vulnerable and talk about my emotions. I think it's important, and I've got a story to tell, as does everybody, right? And I hope that people can relate, because we all go through shit and stuff. And you're right. What I want to get away from is that, and particularly for men, so this is morely aimed at men, because football is more of an outlet for men than it is probably women, in terms of the tribalism of it. Like, if you go to a women's football match compared to a man's football match, it's very different experience, right? But there's lots of men that just go and, while they express their emotions, it's not always in the correct way, right? And that's why there's a lot of shit around football from outside people. They don't like, either violence and the toxic masculinity side of it. But I think if we can reach out to men across the internet and footballing world about how important it is to use football as an outlet, absolutely, but in the correct way, because it's about talking about your feelings and what's going on inside your head, not just using it as an outlet to get your anger out, because that's stupid,
exactly,
right?
You use it as a way to an outlet to, like, the people you go to football with as well. Sometimes just nice to have that kind of like unfamiliar neutral party to talk about various things. You make connections with the people around you, the people you go to the game with, the people who sit around you, that kind of thing. Because sometimes it's just not that comfortable and easy to talk to people that are that close. It's sometimes just that bit harder, because you don't want to dump your stuff on them necessarily.
No, exactly.
But yes,
and I'm not saying go to go to a football match and start fucking pouring out all your problems.
Yeah,
on people, by the way.
This is guy next to you, like, he's like, all right, mate.
You will quickly find yourself on your own, right? But what I'm saying is that these kind of things are an outlet. And if anyone ever wants to reach out, we always say, drop us in the comments. Like, we'll fucking try and signpost all the way. That doesn't mean we're going to be personal counsellors, by the way, people. But what it does mean is that we do genuinely care about it, and that if we can help, then we will. You know, it's kind of it's one of them, and that's what I try and do, because part of
social media can be a very dark place.
Well, mate, of course it can, right? You have to be very careful, like, what you put out there, but it can also be a great way of connecting people, right? And that's what I've, it's really easy to sift through the shit on social media for me, because you can easily call people out, and I think people usually retreat when you start doing that, and that's and then the people that want to engage, you can actually you can reach it can be a positive effect. And I've always said that the whole reason of starting this wasn't to try and blow up and get brand deals and fucking make money or all that kind of stuff. That it would be great if we could, right? I'm not saying if any brands are out there, right? But what I'm saying is, it was all about being authentic and having that connection to the fans, because I believe that we bring something different to the table. I think most people that are in the Villa world at Stratosphere, it's all about the football. It's all about kind of trying to be punditry and tactical and picking it apart and all that kind of stuff, which I like doing. But at the same time, when I listen to a lot of other people's stuff, I'm like, it's not really a fan perspective. It's kind of it's kind of, you're looking to try and be something that's already out there. And I think football's very passionate, and I think that's what we tend to bring. And I get a lot of stick for being passionate and for being critical and I don't mind it, but that's the emotion that you go through. It's raw emotion, right? And then you think about it, you calm down, and you can pick it apart in a more logical way. But in the initial type kind of thing, so all the the hate that I get about Watkins, it's not about not liking Watkins or not saying he's a good player. I think people miss the point. It's about being a passionate fan, and I think you find your people, right, and that's important. And I'm waffling on. We need to talk about this fucking final because this is a bit more exciting. But it takes away from the anxiety, people.
I keep going. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we started talking about this 6 minutes in. It's now 12 minutes. We've lost everyone. Everyone's gone.
Anyway, right,
right. So I was actually going to try and do this earlier in the podcast. Istanbul.
Istanbul!
I was going to try and do this earlier in the podcast, but now we're 12 minutes in. So whoever's here, we're now going to do a little quiz. It's going to be a 3-question quiz. It has been written by AI, but I do find that this is usually much better than the other AI that I was using before. So hopefully this is accurate. I haven't had time to check. So, Gary, question 1. Nice and easy. If you don't get this, I question you big time. How many times has Unai Emery won the Europa League as a manager?
4, but it's about to be 5.
Oh, I like it. And which clubs did he win it with?
Villarreal, Sevilla. That's it. It's just those two. Yeah.
3 times with Sevilla, and once with Villarreal.
With Villarreal,
successful manager in the competition's history, right? This will make him even more so if we manage to win it. Okay, question 2. What aggregate score did Aston Villa beat Bologna by in the quarterfinals?
7-1.
Correct. We won the first leg 3-1 and the second leg 4-0.
4-0.
And it's a bit of a weird question. But
here we go. I've got 2 out of 2.
It's weirdly worded. I'm not sure how to say it. What is the major point that this would winning the Europa League final for Freiburg? What's the major thing that would do for their club?
Be the first time they've qualified for the Champions League.
It's the first time they would ever win a major trophy. They've never won a major honour. They've never won a major honour in their entire history. The Istanbul final is literally their first ever chance to win a final, to win a trophy, which is pretty insane. So, you talk about how big it is for us. They are going to be absolutely chomping at the bit to win this. And this is what we've been talking about, right? We're talking about wanting it. Who wants it? That's gonna, and even though on paper, yes, and unlike they're 7th, I think, in the Bundesliga, and on paper, you would say Villa should win this game. And I think that's why all the pundits are all going, if it's a massive upset, if Villa don't win this game, blah, 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 blah. But in a final, it just doesn't, all that goes out the window for me. It's just simply who wants it. And if we don't turn up, then we can easily lose it.
I agree. The positive is, right, we are in a good run of form. We've got players that are in a good run of form, i.e. Watkins, who has been unplayable in this competition at times against Nottingham Forest. I think I said it and I'll say it again. I thought he had a world-class performance in that game as a centre forward. I think it was probably one of the best games you'll see from a centre forward in terms of what he did. Scored, assist, hold up play, running like he was absolutely brilliant, right? Same against Liverpool. I thought he was phenomenal. He bullied that defence. He had Konate on toast. He disrupted their back four brilliantly. I imagine Freiburg are probably going to try and frustrate us for the first 15, 20 minutes of this game. I think they're
trying to quieten the crowd, aren't they?
Yeah. But it's if we turn up, and it's a big if, right? Because I got tagged in a Blues fucking podcast thing. Right, about,
don't look at it. If you get tagged, don't look at it.
Yeah, but you have to. Yeah, Blues fans make me laugh, mate. Like they're going. This one guy's going. Well, they're not going to win it, are they? You know, they've been shit all season, and I'm like, fucking hell. Honestly, right? The hatred, the hatred, right, that comes from Blues fans towards Villa is so bizarre, right? It's so bizarre, right? Because yes, you don't. Obviously, it's a rivalry. I understand, right? Local derby, but this is how dumb Blues fans are, right? And I'm sorry, Blues fans. There are a few of you that aren't, right? And get it. If you understand football, there's no way you come out and say in the last 4 seasons that Villa are shit or have been shit this season. We won 11 games in a row in the Premier League. We've literally 4th in the Premier League, right? We've got to the Champions League quarter-final. We've got to a Europa League Conference League semi-final. We are now in a final of the Europa League. No, mate. At least be a little. Like if Blues are doing that, I'd have to go. Yeah, this is fucking frustrating. I don't want to see Blues there. But you got to give them flowers, right? Because they've done well to get there. But Blues fans can't do it. They cannot put praise on the Villa.
Like when they won the League Cup. Was it League Cup or the FA Cup they won? I can't remember.
League Cup, mate. They've never won the FA Cup. Behave.
Yeah, okay, I was just checking. Even when they won that, I was like, crowd of Blues have won something and we haven't won something for so long, but still props to them. Like, well done. Like it gives the Midlands clubs that lift and that bit of like exposure as well, worldwide as well. Maybe not with the League Cup, but
But either way, mate, if we win it and I'm in Istanbul, them motherfuckers are getting tagged.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you that for free. It'll be
Sarah will be very much on the vino. Sarah will be on the vino. Brilliant. So what I wanted to next go on to was just a little bit of a recap of the journey to Istanbul. Just like a bit of a recap how we've got
the road to Istanbul.
I'm gonna go over Freiburg.
We should have some title music here, mate.
I know, right? I feel like saying, I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
We just have the Europa League theme playing.
So I'm just over, Freiburg's first. So Freiburg's journey. So they beat Basel at home 2-1 in their first game in the Europa League. They then drew with Bologna 1-1. They actually had a really strong start, mate. They beat Basel.
They did. They scored some goals.
1-1 against Bologna. They beat Utrecht 2-0. They beat Nice away 3-1. They drew with Victoria Plzen 0-0 away. They beat Salzburg 1-0 at home. They beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 1-0 at home. For some reason, it can't give me the final game of the group stage. Don't know why. If anyone knows that, let us know. Freiburg, final game of the group stage. What they get? I think they finished like.
Why have they cut that off?
I don't know. I don't know. It's really weird.
What's your source?
It's UEFA. It says result from search data, not listed separately. Freiburg finished 7th. They finished 7th in the Europa League phase. Then the knockouts, they lost the first leg to Genk 1-0. They then won the second leg at home 5-1. Absolutely battered them.
Battered them.
One that was very surprising to us, they beat Celta Vigo in the first leg 3-0 in the quarterfinals. And then they beat them away as well 3-1, which is pretty good because Celta Vigo are no walkover.
I was expecting Celta Vigo to go through in that.
Yeah. We thought that. Yeah. And then they obviously lost 2-1 to Braga in the first leg of the semi-final, and then they won 3-1 in the second leg to go through 4-3 on aggregate. So they've got a bit of character about them because they've managed 100%. To come back twice then in the knockouts to win. But obviously it all rests on one 90-minute game, which is it can be a bit of a lottery. Anyway, that's the Freiburg one. Let's relive Villa's journey to Istanbul. The first game, our old nemesis, the team that I feel like we've played. Oh, are you going to play the music? If you do that, I was
going to try and get
this could get copyrighted.
Oh no, fuck it! I won't do that.
You see it? No, I'm doing the long version.
You know what? I just thought. Do you remember when we played the Europa League music in that?
Yeah, that was so funny. The quarterfinal, yeah.
Right. What?
Hang on, let me finish.
That against Forest. Mate, keep singing. I'm going to put my laptop in.
There we go. Sorry, go on.
Putting my laptop in.
Oh.
Well, there you go. Otherwise, they would have died.
I actually quite like the Europa League music. I actually quite like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's passionate.
Yeah. It's a.
It's not as good as the Champions League.
Oh, no. Yeah, but I think that's just got. But it's just funny when the entire stadium tries to sing it. Everyone's like, ah! I quite get it. Anyway, right. So first game against the old nemesis, who seems, I feel like we played them about 1 million times for some reason. Bologna, 1-0.
Mate, and
they must hate us.
What a shit game that was. That was the game, right, where Morgan Rogers fucking got like sarcastically applauded. I went on Sky the day after that.
So bad, wasn't it?
And I went in on him big time. I was like, he's fucking shit. He's been shit for 5 games. I didn't obviously swear on Sky. You're not allowed to. But
he's poo.
It was we hadn't scored a goal up to that point. That was our first goal of the season.
Yeah, crazy.
Who scored it, by the way? Who scored in that game?
Was it Harvey Elliott was in the Premier League, wasn't it? Or was it Harvey Elliott in this one? It was either that or McGinn. I feel like it was probably McGinn.
I'm sure it was McGinn.
You have a hang on. Let me get quick. I can get it here. Hang on, I've got it. Bologna. Here it is. McGinn. Yeah, McGinn at 12 minutes. Yeah, because Harvey Elliott scored our first Premier League goal, didn't he? So 1-0 against Bologna.
No,
he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
oh
he
my
did.
God! Right, let me school you. No, he didn't.
Harvey Elliott did. He scored that. He scored that cracking goal.
No.
Oh, God. Tell me then what?
Harvey Elliott scored in the Carabao Cup against Brentford. Right, that was our first goal. Our first Premier League goal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, it was the first goal of the season. It was the first goal of the season. Apologies. Yes, thank you. Thanks for the correction there. As always,
you're welcome.
We do our research. Villa 1, Bologna 0. That started the campaign. We then had a tasty fixture away at Feyenoord. And it was and it was a 2-0 win away at Feyenoord. Because I always think of Villa away in Europa or in Europe. I'm just like, God, we're terrible.
Back to Rotterdam, mate. It wasn't it? It was our
it was the whole exactly. There was the big build up and it was seen as the really difficult. It was seen as like, right, this is going to test our mettle. This is going to tell us where we are in this competition because Feyenoord away is no easy game. Buendia and McGinn stepping up again, mate. McGinn,
mate. He's been amazing this season. Key goals.
He's Villa's now all-time European goal scorer. 11 European goals in major European competitions. He scored for Aston Villa. It's the he's broke that record. He is the top man, which is ridiculous.
I have to say though, mate, that was all created by Daniel Marlin. With a brilliant turn on the halfway line, and how I wish we had him as a backup now, right? Because in a game like tomorrow, he would be perfect to bring on when tired legs come on pace wise. Tammy just doesn't do the same. He's more of an out and out centre forward, right? So I mean, it would be brilliant. It would be brilliant for Tammy to come on and score in the Beşiktaş stadium where we just got him from. That'd be amazing. But that was a great game, the final one.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting if Tammy came on. By the way, obviously, being very familiar with that stadium. Or he might be telling. I mean, it's quite good to have him there, right? He'll be telling all the players. He'll be like, "Yeah, it's familiar. I know. Yeah, don't worry. I can tell." Like they'll kind of already know everything they're expecting from that stadium and that environment. And then probably, you say it's the lowest point of our entire season so far. Probably the lowest point of the last years, if I'm honest. Losing away to Go Ahead Eagles. And also, by the way, just to be clear, that's tainted what would have been a perfect, other than the Forest, up until the semi-final, would have been a perfect Europa League campaign where we basically won every game, other than
the Go Ahead Sunday Eagles. Do you know what I mean? Like
Who was it? Did someone say it's like the Go Ahead Pigeons or something? Was it Go Ahead Seagulls? Wasn't it? Go Ahead Seagulls.
No, look, you have to give them their flowers, right? It was their cup final. They made that rip off of Selhurst Park. I can only call it, right, the little tiny stadium. They made it like a fortress. It was intimidating. The players bottled it. If I'm honest, we were on.
We started off. Okay, we went in the lead, right? Gesson scored
Gesson scored, and we should have been 3-0 up at half time, mate. And then second half, just not good enough. Simply not good enough.
They came back and won that 2-1, and we're like, oh God, is this going to be the downfall?
Which feeds into the anxiety, mate, of that this isn't a given. Like
90 minutes, right? Yeah,
90 minutes. You and with like you said there, Freiburg have already come back 3 times in this competition to win games, and we have to be on it. And I've no doubt Unai Emery, with all the experience in this competition, knows exactly what he's got to do to get it done. It's whether our players do. It's whether they play the occasion or the game. If they play the game, we win. If the occasion gets to them, I don't know. I don't know. Like we've said before, there isn't many people in that dressing room that have actually got over the line and won European silverware. Right? There's Emi Martinez, and that's it really. He's the only one who's won, international tournaments, and will know what experience to bring. So let's hope he does that.
Yeah. Well, obviously, Pau Torres won this with Emery previously, and
well, that's true. Yeah, forgot about Pau.
Yeah, and Lindelof has won honours, just not a European trophy.
Third time's a charm, right?
Exactly. Third time is a charm. Yeah, exactly. And then we had Maccabi Tel Aviv, the political match,
the controversial game.
Yeah,
do you know what? You know what's controversial about that is that people bought tickets, didn't go, right, because of the press built it up to be this obviously fucking nightmare game. No, I went in the end.
Oh, you did in the end? Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, I wasn't going to because Sarah was like, I don't want to go. Like, it sounds like it's going to be trouble. And I was like, no, I think it's going to be okay. So I didn't take Ava. I think she said, okay, you can go, but don't take Ava and stay away from any trouble. And it was all really contained, really. So, but other people didn't go to that game, mate. And because of that, didn't have.
It could have been the ballot.
Lost out on the ballot. Right? Because the category 3 ballot was you attended all home games in the Europa League.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bit sickening, isn't it? We won that one 2-0. Ian Maatsen, if I remember rightly, got one of the goals in that game.
Yes, mate, he did. Great goal as well. And actually, it was quite a simple performance. We should have won it by more. I thought we dominated the game, if I'm honest. They had one chance before Maatsen scored, I think, that could have put them in the lead. They broke away. But apart from that, it was quite a simple, straightforward game.
And then my absolute favourite to talk about, we then absolutely battered Young Boys 2-1. We get
young boys.
We get one more chance to make that joke. Aston Villa took it to young boys at home. 2-1.
Yes, they'll be glad to see the back of us, won't they?
God's sake.
Smashed them twice in 2 seasons, mate. Smashed those young boys twice.
Oh my God. Seasons. You had to say smash. You had to say smash, didn't you? You had to take it there.
Mate, get your head out of the car. We did. We smashed them away and then we smashed them at home.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, the Donny Marlin show, you got to. People talk about Daniel Marlin and like how he didn't do anything in his time here and stuff. And I'm like, well, mate, he got us through some of these games. Like he got us through these difficult times.
Yeah. Mate, because people hide behind that, he's not a number 9, but he was never given the chance to play number 9. I think he played 3 games where he started up top. It's not enough. He didn't get a good enough chance. I saw enough from Donny Marlin to say there's a player there. And actually, this is Emery all over, right? That he wants like-for-like replacements, so it wasn't suited to him replacing for Watkins. So it was then, I've got to play him out on the right, and that then gives us an imbalance if you took McGinn off. And, our right side's been a problem all season, really.
It's been a problem. It's been a problem for the last 2 seasons. That season when Bailey was electric. Am I right? I was having this discussion with Sam. Just to be clear, just don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but when Bailey had that electric season, he played on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't Diaby playing kind of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And he was drifting out of the right side. Sam was saying Diaby was on the left.
Well, no, I think what happened was, because Rodgers was in that team, I think it was kind of a little bit of both. What happened was, like, as it should, as I've said this numerous times on the pod, right? It's the fluidity of that front 3. So, yeah, on paper, he might have been as a team sheet down on the left, but he would be central, and often would go out to the right, and Bailey would.
Yeah, he was integrating with Bailey so much.
He was integrated, and they competed for the same position at Leverkusen before they both come to us, right? And it was clear to see they played well together. But Diaby often, when Bailey didn't play, would play out on the right because Rodgers would start on the left.
So I was confused by that. I was like very confused. Sorry. Anyway, I need to start rattling through these. We're taking way too long. Yeah. Basel, then away, 2-1 win, Aston Villa. The big one that I thought was a real difficult game was Fenerbahce, beating them 1-0 away. Massive atmosphere. Really big win.
Well, mate, this is when we were flying in January. Yeah. This was like Leeds. Like, can you think about that result away at Fenerbahce, and then followed by beating Newcastle on the following Sunday 2-0 at St James's Park, first time in 20 years. Fucking 2 of the best performances I've seen this season. They were absolutely, like, we talked about like the 11-game run and whatnot. And those 2 were the moments where I thought, yeah, we're playing really well. There's an understanding of how this system works. And, I think there was Buendia, Sancho, Watkins were linking up so beautifully. In those 2 games in particular, mate, they were these little triangles play. Like the Buendia's goal against Newcastle was like, bop, curled into the it was fucking brilliant. And then for whatever reason, like, and this confuses me. Like that away trip to Spurs, right, where Emery went full strength and played Kamara, and obviously, fucking hell, it just went from there, didn't it? It all fell apart because it was kind of
needless, wasn't it? We all said it was needless. Well, don't play him.
It was absolutely needless. We didn't. The FA Cup was. If you think about it now, we didn't need it. We could have pushed. If those players would have stayed fit in that month, right? We lost them in 2 weeks of each other, mate. I think it was Kamara first, then it was
Tielemans,
McGinn. Or then it was Tielemans, then it was McGinn, wasn't it? Yeah. And so, and now we'll never know. But it's a shame because in that point we were looking like a real contender. And then obviously
like we said, it's never just a little niggle with Kamara. It's like an ACL or a massive layoff, like 6 months. Or it's so frustrating.
It's something that's going to have to be discussed in the off season because we're a better team when he plays. Our win rate 70-odd% when he plays, right? But he's had 2 ACLs in 2 years, and which means he's only played half a season out of 2.
It's the Ledley King conundrum. Remember Ledley King? And literally just had like a pay-as-you-go contract, and they were having to manage his minutes. He could only play 1 game a week, and he couldn't train. If I remember rightly, he wasn't really training. I think he was just playing the games. But anyway, and then I tell you what, a game that a lot of us forget about, but actually had massive implications on this Europa League run, which was Salzburg at home. Now, because we were 2-1 down in that game at about 80 minutes, I think if I remember rightly, I think that's correct. I can have a quick check. But our young lads came on and they put on a show.
Oh, yeah. Alaba,
was it Jamaldine Jamoa? Was it? Yeah, Jamaldine Jamoa in the 86th minute, and then Morgan Rogers on the 90th minute. Oh, that was right. Sorry. So they were 1-0 up because Lindelof scored an own goal. We equalised 75th minute. We went 2-1 up through Jamaldine. And then they scored to equalise in the 90th minute. And then Morgan Rogers scored in the 90th minute to win it. Or after that to win it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
A ridiculous game. And the key with that is, I still believe this has got us probably to where we are, is it gave us the home legs second, because we wouldn't have finished in the top 2. If we didn't win that game, we wouldn't have finished in the top 2. And we would have some of those second legs away from home. And you think about like the way the Forest game went and stuff. It's unbelievable.
If that, yes, it was massively important. It proved to be massively important, right? I think that was the whole psychology. So that was probably one of the biggest game that we had to play before the Forest one. I think to get that kind of knockout stage.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because well, the psychological factor of having that home leg in the second one, if you don't lose or you're just a goal behind, like we were in the Forest, that you give yourself a real great chance of...
Especially at Villa Park as well, just because we're so strong at Villa Park.
Mate, we proved it. That night, the Forest game, mate, I've never felt like euphoria like it.
I thought this the other day, by the way. Am I right in thinking then, after that Liverpool game, I was thinking, shame about the Spurs game, because am I right in thinking that now 4 of our last 5 at home, we've scored 4 goals in each game? Yeah. We beat Bologna 4-0. We beat Sunderland 4-3.
4-3, yeah.
We beat Forest 4-0. And we beat Liverpool 4-2.
Liverpool 4-2, yeah.
So other than those games, and then we've got Spurs, that rubbish little game in there. How ridiculous is that? When we talk about the fact that like we were on a bad run of form and couldn't score goals.
Well, mate, if we win tomorrow, right, I can erase that Spurs performance out. But honestly, I'm still a little bit angry about that Spurs performance.
I think everyone's a bit tainted. I think the whole embarrassing. That's the problem, right? It was embarrassing, I think, because there were so many eyes on that game because of what it meant to the league. And everyone desperately wanted them to go down.
Mate,
and it looks like
I got so many fucking messages on TikTok about how we'd thrown the game. Like it was like we're the most hated team in the country. That's why people are behind us tomorrow.
Well, to be fair though, you do look at it and you go, yeah, if we'd even just drawn that game, Spurs would be probably going down.
In trouble.
Yeah. I mean, they still might go down. They're playing Chelsea tonight.
Even on TalkSport today, right? I was just listening to it in the car, and they were interviewing. They were interviewing De Zerbi, and he's going like, "This, we're using this as motivation. Basically, everyone wants Spurs to get relegated." He's absolutely right. I wanted Spurs to get relegated. I don't want West Ham to go down. They've been fucking dealt with shit hand, man. Like, and with the owners that they've got, and it should have been Spurs, and it could have been, and we could have fucking firmly put a nail in that coffin, and we didn't. And not only did we didn't, we made them look like prime fucking Barcelona, mate.
We had nothing.
I'm still angry about it. So we have to win the trophy tomorrow because I can eradicate that fucking thing out of my mind. Right, it has to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then obviously into the knockout rounds, Lille in the round of 16, first leg, 1-0 win away. I think at that point we were like, yep, we've got this. I think
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins. 2-0 at home, 3-0 aggregate win. Then good old Bologna. Good old Bologna again.
We're back for the spaghetti, people. Come on, the Bolognese!
First leg, 3-1 win with that, because it was 2-1, wasn't it? And I think Watkins scored right at the death as well to extend it to 3-1.
Mate, look, that third goal in that was massive because
really
we played really well and at 2-0 looked comfortable. Then he brought on fucking Leon Bailey, didn't he? That fucking knob who watched him put like half a toe in towards Jonathan Rowe, who fucking, you could see Matty Cash going, "What the fuck, man? I've been chasing this fucker for 80 minutes. You come on, you're supposed to be fresh legs." And it was a brilliant finish, but fucking hell, Leon Bailey, knob. And then Watkins gets that third one, and that made it comfortable in the end.
Well, I mean, the thing that was really, I remember because we always, I think before that we were always saying we never get like a comfortable game of like, can we just kill this off and just have a nice day? And obviously, I think we got 2 relatively early goals against Bologna. We cruised through 4-0, battered them 7-1 on aggregate.
7-1. Took the piss out of them, mate. Fucking had seconds of Bolognese.
And then it was Forest. And obviously, we all know how that went. Losing that first game through a stupid, just crazy. And this is again, right? So go ahead, Eagles, and this is what gives us PTSD. This is what makes us worry because it only takes something stupid like that. And that 90 minutes, what's happening? It only takes.
I'm just doing an impression of Luca Dean, mate.
Luca Dean, but what is going on? It's like I think you're limbering up before going to Istanbul. He's stretching.
No, I'm just. This is like Luca Dean. This is how Luca Dean walks around. It's like just putting my arms up in the air because
I'm just happy with life. Football is life. Once again, it's just like a moment of madness, and this is what can happen, right? Like that. Something like that. If something like that happens in like the first half or something, in the first 30 minutes, and they get a penalty, and maybe we go down to 10 men or something, all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, what's happened here?
Well, mate, I think we have to just point out, two things really. There's 2 very good chances for both teams. Emi Martinez made a fucking amazing save again, didn't he? And Watkins had a great chance. And if he had taken that, maybe that'd have been different. It made it very nervy, and I was nervy until the Forest fans after the game were all, booking their flights to Istanbul. Right? I've never seen it, mate. Like I couldn't. Out of good faith, just never be that. Like this is why, I know. I
wouldn't have been that. Look, I wouldn't have been that cocky against. I don't know, young boys. I wouldn't have been that cocky against Bologna, anything like that. But to me, and I'm not like saying that we're completely like we're ridiculously like we're a good team, right? I'm not like saying
we are a good team
or something like that. But when you're doing that 1-0 up, about to go away to a team like Villa, and obviously yes, we're on form and all that kind of stuff, and that's why we were so nervous. But you don't get that cocky, do you? You don't get that arrogant. It was just bizarre.
Mate, what is it? You never celebrate too early. Look at if go and type celebrating early into your search bar now and watch the millions of videos of fucking people celebrating when they shouldn't. Right?
Yeah.
You get the job done. Right? Elite people get it done first and then celebrate. So trust me, if we win this fucking thing, mate, I'm going to be celebrating for the next fucking 2 years.
Well, I did. I don't know. I think I sent to you because I've reached out to. I think it's called Tricky Talks. Is the pod that Kate, who's on the Sky Sports, so I kind of put to them and her and said, "Enjoy that humble pie" on X. Yeah. And she did reply. To be fair to her, she replied saying, "I think she was like, yeah, fair dues, you battered us, but like or whatever." And I was like, okay, fair play. She's come back to me and she's actually like took it. But yeah, you just
that's all we ask. You got to eat the humble pie when you have to, right? And
don't go on national TV though and start spouting off like just not good luck at all.
Very brave, mate. She'll always be remembered for being that. Having Charlie Aston go, you're about to be served a slice of humble pie.
Oh, this is what she put. She couldn't help but get a dig in. And to be fair, this is always going to be a thing. I think that we'll talk about this season, right? Because, like you said, we're trying to raise it from our memory. But she put fair play. You absolutely spanked us. Go and win it now. You still should have beaten Spurs, though. See you next season. And that's the thing. It's always going to be, if Spurs stay up, everyone's going to be like, oh, Villa.
Yeah.
It's going to be Villa.
Look, it's one of them. We're not responsible for relegating Spurs. We've got to focus on us. We are, it's a bit of good news, right? That we've turned up when it's mattered, right? So against Forest, against Liverpool, And now we've got to do it one more time. You know, I think it's good news as well that Mourinho has been confirmed as Real Madrid manager, because I genuinely believe that is the only job that could have maybe tempted Emery away from Villa. There's other rumours. I watched Mark Goldridge the other day. He popped up on my TikTok feed, and he was going. To be fair to him, he said, like, you know, people are saying go and get Unai Emery, right? You know, and he said it's just not that simple. Like, he's got the keys to the kingdom. Like, he's under contract. We'd have to pay 20 million quid just to get him. I'm convinced there's a legacy coming, mate. I do, and so that news has really brightened me up this week. I think that the fact that's been confirmed, because I think he'll stay, and I think we'll go again next season. And this could be the defining season, mate, of Villa, of whether we really step up to the elite level.
This could be the one where we really put ourselves on the map, and we go, look, we can do it. We can win stuff.
Yeah,
we've got a line. We've won something for the first time in 30 years. We can do it.
You know, like, if you know, up until this point, we've been very comparable to Newcastle, right? Wealthy owners, you know, they've done really well. They've got to the Champions League and they've won a trophy, but they've dipped off. You know, they haven't been able to sustain, like, you know, with Europe has meant their league's form suffered. This is a monumental achievement this season if we win tomorrow, to finish in the Champions League places and to win a trophy, right? So next season is about, again, going again and performing and not having that dip off.
And we'll get onto the team in a sec, and then we'll wrap this up. But I think what's interesting is that actually, I think outside of Villa, I think because of the way things have gone under Unai Emery, and you know, the fact we have got Europe 4 seasons in a row, right? That they just kind of expect it, and so actually us finishing in the top 5 or whatever, I think outside of Villa and a lot of fans, they're just like, oh well, yeah, you should have, like, you're up in second and you're 12 points gap and all that kind of stuff, and then you fell. But we all know this squad that we've got and what we spent in the summer, and what we brought in Evan Gassond and Lindelof and Sancho on loan. We basically just got people's rejects. Like, you know, that's all we were able to do this summer, and that was after getting rid of, and obviously then we got rid of Daniel Marlon. We'd already got rid of Diaby. We'd lost, like, and so we're like, and we'd lost Asensio and Rashford, two huge players that galvanised.
Huge players, yeah.
We're just like, we were completely decimated. I think I've read something recently that Emery, obviously he's maybe exaggerating a bit and he's downplaying and he's really hyping up our achievements this season. But he said he was worried about a relegation battle. He said those were his words. He said he was worried about a relegation battle. I'll try and find the quote the next time I send it you. But he said, I was genuinely worried about relegation this season. That's what I was looking at.
Okay. If you look at the start, though, I kind of understand that a little bit, because there was massive disruption, weren't they, in the dressing room with Jacob Ramsey-Sale and Martinez potentially leaving and stuff. And then there was the start we had, not scoring a goal in 5 games. Even the fucking media was saying that. And lots of people. So, you know, fuck them, fuck them all.
Yeah. But anyway, onto the game. I don't see any changes really from the main players that played against Liverpool and played against Forest. I don't see any change. I don't think Ronaldo will be fit personally, but
I think even if he is fit, I don't think he'll start with him. I don't think he will. I think it's not worth the risk. He risked him in the Forest game when he wasn't really fit and he should have played. And I think what I think he's more likely to do is play Lindelof for 60, 70 minutes.
Yeah.
And then bring Onana on.
I agree.
That's what I think he'll do.
I agree. I think we will go hard. We will high press. We will have that energy, much like probably against Liverpool, where we kind of had that 15, 20 minutes of really high tempo energy. And then I feel like we kind of backed off a little bit and like conserved a bit, because then we went again in the second half. That's how it felt. Like it went.
No, look, you've got to expect in a game. You can't have it all your own way. That's not how football works, right? Now, obviously, brilliant teams do, but this isn't 2 top elite teams going at it. We are a better team than they are on paper, right? And we know we can probably outperform them. But it's the same in the Liverpool game. You know, we had the first 20 minutes. They had the second 20 minutes. They put us under a bit of pressure.
Good team, I know.
7 corners in a row, and You know, they had a disallowed goal for offside. It could have been very different. But second half, once they equalised, my word, the way we responded was absolutely exceptional. It was. We played some lovely stuff. It was, like you say, high tempo, high energy, really good goal scored. And, you know, obviously, people will put that down to Szoboszlai slipping over. You know, you've got to take your chances and have a little bit of luck in this game, right? And that's kind of what it is. And I just pray, mate, I just pray that we're not sitting here after the game tomorrow and we fucked up with a mistake. Like, do you know what I mean? No one make a mistake. Like, just keep it simple. Don't try anything stupid.
Fair enough if Freiburg turn up and just beat us.
But we cannot fucking lose this game on a mistake. I'll be screwing. Right, so, you know, don't fucking dwell on it too much. If it's got to go long, just get it long, right? Just, you know, because I know how much we love to hold on to it and play out the back. But if this is a fucking cup final, mate, you don't take risks like that when you don't need to, right? So let's hope that they've got the memo and they fucking they do it. They have to, mate. They've got to win this fucking trophy because they just have to.
It's written in the stars. It has to happen.
Please, just please make it right. Make it one of these moments where I'm going to go to Istanbul. And it's going to be totally worth it. And I'm going to get to tell this to fucking my grandkids that I was there the fucking night we won a European trophy. Right, this is the legacy, man. I don't want to, because if we lose,
like I've said, I'll be there though next season when we're in the Champions League final. So don't worry about it; it'll be fine. Brilliant. Right, so that's all we've got time for here. We will go on.
Quick question then. Right, would you take losing tomorrow if it meant we were going to win the Champions League next season?
Did you just say losing tomorrow to guarantee being in the final next season?
Yeah. With a shot at the Champions League. You know, do you know what I mean?
I'll probably say yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
Because I might be there. I could go to that one. Right. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. If you have made it this far, please do subscribe, like, hype, all that kind of stuff. And let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen in this game. Are you as nervous as we are? Are you going? Are you as lucky as Gary to be going? If you're not, where are you watching it? Let us know what you're doing. Like Sam said in our last episode, wherever you are, everyone's voice will be heard across the world. We're all over the place. So it'd be absolutely, and this could be a momentous occasion. And hopefully next time I speak to Gary, unless he jumps on the watch along, if you manage to jump on a half time or anything tomorrow, hopefully on Thursday, we will be talking about Aston Villa being European champions, which would be absolutely, oh man, I've just got goosebumps. Right, anyway, Gaz, final words to sing us out because I've got to go.
Final words, 6 a.m. 6 a.m. flight tomorrow, and I'll be there with all of you that are already out there. I can't wait to join you. I've seen the videos online. The atmosphere looks amazing. Right, stay safe wherever you're watching. Like James said, this is a times to come together. We'll all be there in spirit. I'm gutted that we can't all be in Istanbul. Obviously, that would be the fucking the best case scenario. I'd love all my family to be there as well. Do you know what I mean? I'd love Ava to be there. It's
you got to stop doing that holiday at the end of the season, mate. You can't do that. What's the next season? It's Champions League. What are you doing? You can't do that. You got to move this holiday. Well, this holiday's got to move. Mate,
no, it can't. It won't move because they've been doing it for 30 years. What's going to happen is
there needs to be an agreement then now.
What we need to do, right, is probably pre-plan this a little bit better so I'm not fucking lastminute.com, right? So it's kind of like, I'm going, if we get there, we're going to pre-book flights, we're going to pre-book rooms, we're going to fucking make it.
That's what we need to do. And for next season, as soon as I'm going to look at where it is and we're just going to book it.
Just book it, right? And it's there. Cancellation 24 hours before, whatever, right? And then, it will be because the Champions League's always the last one, right? So actually, if it was this year we're going to Champions League, I'm coming back on the day of the Champions League, right? So if it's at May 31st, it'll be a bit. I think I'll come back at the end of the holiday, so I'd have to leave that a little bit earlier, which will be fine because then Sarah doesn't have to take everyone, right? So I get to do the main bit of it. Leaving early will be easier because I would have experienced the holiday. So if I have to get a fucking plane from Exeter to wherever, Barcelona, fucking wherever it's going to be, no problems, mate. But we're fucking. Oh, come on. That's the dream now. We're going to win tomorrow, and next season we're going to be in the Champions League final.
Gary's now planning a Champions League final trip. Right, go on then, Gaz. Sing us out.
And as always, people, we'll see you on the next one. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace.
Yeah.